Hello everyone! We're in Brașov, and as we told you in our last video, we're going to take you on a hike up the mountain. The first climb is going to be on Mount Tampa. And then we're going to Canionul 7 Scări, or in English, the 7 Stairs Canyon. Mount Tampa, with a height of approximately 960 meters, watches over the city of Brașov in Romania. Being one of its symbols, the city almost swallowed the mountain as it developed around it. Tampa is a mountain that belongs to the Postavaru Massif, in the south of the Eastern Carpathians, and its name seems to have the meaning of steep rock, like those at the peak of the mountain, Tampa Mare and Tampa Mică. If you like our videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel by smashing that subscribe button to learn even more interesting things about the next place you're thinking of visiting. The climb to the Tampa peak is a very easy one that doesn't require special gear, but we would still recommend some good hiking shoes, just to be on the safe side. The climb to the top can be done via two different paths, both of them being of a relatively similar difficulty, 2 to 3 kilometers in length, with a difference in altitude of 300 meters from the foot to the top of the mountain. One of the routes is called Drumul Serpentinelor, or in English, the Serpentine Road. It has a length of 2.7 kilometers, is marked with a red triangle, and starts near the cable car station. The path climbs gently on contour lines until very close to the top, and lasts approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes. The other route, known as Gaboni's Steps, is 2 kilometers long, marked with a yellow triangle. Its start is a bit steeper than the Serpentine Road, and also takes about an hour and a half. We have decided to hike up the Serpentine Road, as it passes underneath the cable car. The cable car connects the town located at the foot of Mount Tampa and the top of the massif. Its hours of operation are between 9:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. from Tuesday to Sunday, and the 3-minute trip over the 573 meters route will cost you about 10 lei, which is approximately €2. Lei is the local currency. The base station of the cable car is located in the city near the restaurant and cabin Casa Pădurarului, and the end point at the top on the mountain is near the panoramic restaurant. The construction of the cable car is due to the Cerbu de Aur festival, an event that brought together singers from all over the world. Thus, in order to impress the VIPs coming from abroad, the country's leadership in the 60s decided that the city needed the cable car. We continue our ascent, and we can tell that we're getting very close to the top, as we can already hear the voices of people that reached the top before us. At the top, we're greeted by some signs that indicate the routes that we can take from here, but we're going to spend some time exploring the top of the mountain. First, we're going to one of the most popular lookout points. This spot is on a terrace that used to belong to a restaurant called Tampa, which burned down completely on March 23, 1977, following a tragic accident caused by its staff. From the old restaurant, all that survives is the terrace, and a few steps away, 2 stone tubs that were used for cooling bottles, that are still located in a cave that was part of the establishment.
In
In 2001, the Brașov County Council erected a marble cross in the cave. In 2004, they installed the Hollywood-style letters which spell Brașov, but they were blown away by a storm. In 2006, they reinstalled the letters that make up the name of the city, to the right of the terrace, and equipped them with beautiful lighting for the nighttime. And from here, we're climbing to another superb lookout point. But we won't be hanging around for too long, as there are so many other things to see. So we'll climb a little bit higher to find the ruins of a monument and tell you its amazing story. A story with spies, intrigue, and a bomb that ultimately destroyed it. The story begins around the 1000th anniversary of the arrival of the Hungarian tribes in Pannonia, at a time when Brașov was still part of the territory of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. For the anniversary, impressive statues were erected in 7 cities of old Hungary to commemorate the event. Thus, in 1896, a column was erected on Tampa, with an archer from the Arpadian dynasty placed on the capital. For the majority of the citizens of Brașov, the 20-meter statue inaugurated in 1896 was the statue of Arpad, the figure who led the Hungarian tribes in Pannonia. Thus, the Romanian and Saxon population was not thrilled by the existence of this statue. 17 years later, after many other attempts of destroying it, the documents say that a certain Ilie Cătărău, possibly a double agent, a Romanian-Russian spy, together with Timotei Kirilov, placed dynamite at the base of the plinth in September 1913, managing to severely damage it, and in December of the same year, the statue collapsed during a storm. The resulting ruins remained on top of the mountain until 1966, when they were removed by the authorities. Today, the head of the statue is in the house of the evangelical parish in Brașov, and only the foundation of the plinth remains on Tampa. Further up, we discover one of the 7 citadels that gave Transylvania its German name, Siebenburg. The fortress, located between the peak and the saddle of Tampa, is supposed to have been built during the time of the Teutonic Knights, between 1212 and 1218. In 1241, several families from Brașov took shelter in it, hiding from the Tatar invasion, and in 1395, before the start of the war with the Turks, Mircea cel Bătrân, one of the leaders of Wallachia, found shelter for his family in the fortress. After 24 years, in 1421, the fortress became a place of refuge for the population of Brașov, which was threatened by the Sultan Murad II. In the same year, the fortress was given as a pledge to the Sultan. So the Turks started dominating the city from the heights. The fortress thus became a danger to the people of Brașov and the entire area. After they managed to buy it back with the help of Iancu de Hunedoara, the townspeople decided to demolish it. The resulting stone was used to strengthen the fortress in the valley, which was being built at the time. The citadel consists of stone enclosures and a kind of a small polygonal bastion on the western side, at the top of Tampa. Along the walls were small defensive towers. Inside the south wall, traces of small rooms were discovered, which generated the hypothesis that the citadel was from the pre-Roman era. In the fortress there was also a deep well and a chapel. The fact that the fortress was surrounded by cliffs on 3 sides and the fourth was well defended made it one of the most difficult fortresses to conquest in Transylvania and in fact in Europe. It was never conquered and it was only occupied by treaties. From here we'll descend from Tampa on a path called Treptele lui Gaboni and go to the next hiking trail, which is near Brassov and is called the 7 Stairs Canyon. To get to the 7 Stairs Canyon, we make our way on the trail marked with a yellow stripe from Dâmbu Mori in the town of Timișu de Sus, near the National Road number 1. You can reach the canyon in about an hour of walking at a leisurely pace. The trail is suitable even for children. No special equipment is needed, but proper footwear is recommended, as the path can be slippery, especially when it rains. The hike to the canyon is spectacular and the trail goes through the dense forest along a river. On the way we see there is a zip line set up. And we meet a lot of people because this route is quite popular. And when we get to the canyon, due to its popularity, we find a lot of people who are waiting to go through it, so we have to wait about an hour until it will be our turn to pass through it as well. Passing through the canyon is quite difficult. You walk in a single file and with great care you climb the metal stairs, which are wet and slippery. The canyon is open between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. and the entrance fee is 10 lei, in the local currency, the equivalent of 2 euros. The 7 Stairs Canyon in the Piatra Mare mountains is 160 meters long. The difference in altitude is 58 meters, and the whole thing is at an altitude of almost 1000 meters. The gorge has 7 steps which give it its name, with a height between 2 and 15 meters. The 7 Stairs Canyon is a gorge that was dug by the Piatra River. According to research carried out by geologists and paleontologists, the 7 Stairs Canyon dates back to the Mesozoic era, when the Earth was home to dinosaurs. After the retrieval and examination of several fossils, it was concluded that the lower part of the canyon dates from the Jurassic period, and the upper part dates from the Triassic period. In other words, dinosaurs once lived here. The canyon also has a legend, which says that the hike up this trail is a test for women who want to get married. Another legend says that the young men in the village put their girlfriends to 2 tests, one of which was a walk to the canyon to test their physical endurance. If they got to the top, they stayed there for 1 night, and if they didn't fight, then they were meant to be together forever. After crossing the canyon, you can return to the base by following an alternate route through the forest. Returning through the canyon is not permitted. Or you can go back to base using the zip line. And for those who still have the energy and appetite for a hike, Vârful Piatra Mare is awaiting to be conquered. The route to the top is of moderate difficulty and takes almost 3 hours. The yellow stripe marking leads us through the forest, among the rocks and huge boulders. The climb to the Piatra Mare cabin located at an altitude of 1,629 meters is quite demanding, with a difference in altitude of approximately 900 meters, which can be covered in about 3 hours depending on each person's training and fitness level. Arriving at the Piatra Mare cabin, on a plateau with splendid views, we took a longer break. We drank cold and refreshing water just right for a thirsty hiker, directly from the spring. Here at the cabin, we were informed that today is not a great idea to go further to Vârful Piatra Mare, because a bear was seen at the edge of the forest. So we've decided to go down the mountain following the red stripe marking on the trail called the Familiar Road, which will take us through the forest to the Dâmbumori cabin. The familial road is very popular. People go up and down this route, as it's much easier than the one marked with the yellow stripe. We will stop here today and give you a chance to admire the beautiful views from the Piatra Mare Plateau. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking that subscribe button. Leave us a like so we know you are here, and share this video with others. And we will meet you next time in the city of Vrshnov, a few kilometers away from Brașov, where we're going to visit the fortress of Vrshnov, and from there we'll go to the Bran castle, or if you're to believe Bram Stoker, Dracula's castle. See you soon!